Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lilkatz. Welcome to Star Nation's organization's main fan page, where I normally do all of my live streams from for Star Nations. It is Saturday, November 24th, and I just wanted to explain a couple of things that happened this afternoon with the daily live stream. And for those, thank you guys. Rochelle and Julie Hill are with me this afternoon. Thank you for jumping over to this particular live stream. Hi, Mary. Mary's with us too. Hey, Julie. This is a native live stream, which means that it's not just because I'm Native American. No, that's not the reason why. Facebook has a couple of different ways to be able to live stream. And you can live stream like this, and it's just plain old live streaming. You hit the live stream and you go. And then you can also use third-party apps to do live streams. And that's what I did earlier today, this afternoon, actually, like about 45 minutes ago. We have a partnership, Star Nations does, with Be Live TV. It's a third-party app that helps us to do really nice things with our interviews, our shows, our live stream shows. We can show pictures. We can have more than one guest on with us. There's several different modes that Be Live TV offers, right? And and so I thought I had 2 days off, which I'll tell you about in a second. And I thought, when I restart doing the live streams on Saturday, I'm going to do things a little bit different, a little bit easier. We're going to do set up the weekly events or daily events. Daily events, and I was going to start using Be Live television app, and and so when I went to set up the broadcast in Be Live, I thought, I think I'm going to try using a different mode because we have 4 of them available, and I usually only use one. And I thought, well, I think I'll use the interview mode because I should get used to using that one. That would be good to have under my belt, right? I didn't realize that when you use that particular mode, in order for your broadcast to actually occur, your guest has to be logged in and in the studio, ready to go. I didn't have a guest. So I quickly contacted a couple people. If you're available, could you please come on the show with me on the live stream? And Paul was ready to go, was ready to do it. And Julie was the first one, Julie Hedges. She's the live stream show host for the Tarot Journey. And she also writes for us for the Star Nations magazine. And so she was the first one to jump in and say, yeah, what do you need? I didn't realize, I thought she was home. I didn't realize that she and Rob Kendall were en route to do a gig this evening. They perform together. They're good friends, and they perform together. Julie sings, and Rob plays the guitar, and so yeah. So that's why it showed up the way it did. I just wanted to explain that to everybody, that possibly when you were watching the live streaming, what the heck's going on? You know, Neshi has guests today. Well, that's why. Actually, it turned out really well, don't you think? The people in the chat that were in that first live stream, I think it turned out really well. I tried not to get too freaked out over it. It's like, okay, we'll just get in the mode, get in the flow. We'll see how things turn out. And I have to say that with Julie and Rob's input to the card draw really helped, I think, understand the message that was happening. So this is the first card that came, the Fire Guardian, Ignite Your Passions, right? It's about the fire within. And the second card was Father Sky, Trust in the Unknown, right? Yeah. So when you put them together, what message did they bring for us today? And I have to say that the way Julie was able to add in the astrology piece and the tarot piece, and how Rob was able to put in the piece about religion, it helped us, I think, really. I think it turned out pretty darn well. So Rochelle's here, Julie Hill is here, Mary's here. Hey, Mervyn Kelly is with us too. Hello, Nellie. And Stephanie's here too. Julie says, yes, it turned out well. Stephanie said it was pretty cool. I thought so. That's the kind of stuff you just can't make that stuff up and have it work out as well as it did. Because when you bring these two cards together, the Fire Guardian, the card information talks about how many people are afraid of fire. And when you're afraid of fire, you're also afraid of your inner fire. And it's that inner fire, that passion, that actually helps us to bring our desires, our creations onto the earth plane. And if you are afraid of your own fire, creating something or manifesting something is going to be very difficult. And so anyway, the Fire Guardian can help us to be more confident with our inner fire, and also talk about desire. And we talked about that there's many different meanings to the word desire and passions. And most people, their thoughts go to procreation, sexuality, right? And it is that. Don't get me wrong. We really need to be confident and self-assured in our own sexuality too, because otherwise that becomes a block to creating and manifesting. So when we're able to tap into our fire, our desires, our passions, it helps in creation in a whole bunch of different ways. And so Rob was actually helped with understanding how belief systems, religious belief systems, can actually be an interference or a block when you have a church or a religion saying that sex or sexuality is a bad thing, that it's a part of the original sin. So that is that a belief system that you want to hold on to? And if you do, that's fine. That's up to you. But if you look at it and you think and you feel like this doesn't support me anymore, and so are you going to release the whole thing, or are you going to release only parts of it? That's up to you, right? But that also, no matter what you release, it's going to free up that space so that you're more comfortable with your own sexuality and your ability to create. Yeah. So it was really fascinating conversation, and how Father Sky supports the Fire Guardian. The Grandfather Sky is the illuminator, right? Illuminates our path with the sun, the moon, the stars, and the planets. And basically letting us know that you don't have to know all the details in order for some part of your heart's desire to come into the earth plane. You don't have to know all of it. You just have to believe in yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Mervyn is saying, hello, just got home from work. Hello there. I hope you had a good evening at work, or a good day. Yeah. Mervyn lives in London. He's also one of our live stream show hosts from Star to Stone. Let me tell you, lots of crystal information in the last couple of months. Good stuff. But he also has done show specials with me about caretaking, being a primary caregiver for an elderly parent, because that's something Mervyn and I both have in common. His mom lives with him, and my mom lives with me. And so we've done a couple of show specials about that. And so Mervyn, he works some pretty long hours, so he can be off a few days in a week. But still get his hourly wages in and that kind of thing. So he is a very busy guy. was very busy. So I'm so glad you could take some time to be with us, Mervyn. So anyway, I wanted to explain just a little bit about the card draw and what happened with that broadcast that we just finished. Now, I learned a lot this afternoon. I really did. Um, I was so excited to come back and do the live stream with you guys. I was off for 2 days, and now it's not like I don't. It's not like I was on vacation. No, I was still working. I just wasn't online very much. Getting a lot of paperwork done and making telephone calls and that kind of thing. So so when I come back, it felt like a whole different world. It's like, and I tried something new with Be Live, but it worked. It worked. And I'm so glad we were able to get the broadcast to be done and to really understand these two cards from a really cool perspective, I think. So if you didn't see that one in its entirety, or just more than what I just a brief in a nutshell kind of explanation for you, is go and watch the recorded video on it, because there's some really good information there that Julie shared about the tarot and about the astrology regarding the fire guardian. Yeah. Yep. Good stuff. The other thing why I wanted to do this particular live stream is because I wanted to give you some information about what's coming up at Star Nations this week. It's a busy week. It's a very busy week. And I didn't want to hold Julie and Rob on air with me, because I know that they're traveling to their gig, and I didn't want them to feel like, now they have to rush. So I wanted to share with you about the shows that are coming up this week for Star Nations Radio Network live stream shows. On Monday, Monday, we don't have any shows on Monday, but on Tuesday at noon is Polly Jo LeBay Chakra Sessions. And I don't think I downloaded her show description yet, but she will be on at noon on Tuesday. And chances of me doing a afternoon broadcast, I don't know. I have to see how the morning rolls out on Tuesday, because George, our puppy, is getting neutered on Tuesday. And so I'm not sure when we're going to be able to pick him up. It may be in the afternoon, mid-afternoon. So yeah, I might not be doing a broadcast on Tuesday, but I'll let you know, okay? And then Tuesday night is my weekly show, Communications from Home, and we're going to be doing the Unity Breath meditation together. It's a guided meditation, and it's all about love and Grandmother Earth and Grandfather Sky. So, and I do that every month, last Tuesday of the month. And so I hope you can please join us, because when we raise our frequency to the frequency of love, a whole bunch of us doing that, we can make a difference in our environment around us. Yeah. Our whole communities where we live. Yeah. All right. So then on Wednesday at noon is Polly Jo LeBay. I'm sorry, 7 p.m. Eastern is Polly Jo LeBay's Soul Connections. And that is an evening of healing work, and also card draws, individual card draws. And Polly Jo does a mini reading for whoever wants a card. It's a very potent hour and a half or so. The healings we get to do for those of us who are energy workers and light workers, and haven't done our own healing work in a while because we keep putting ourselves a little bit lower on the list. This brings us back on the top of the list to do some self-care, no matter what it is that you have to work on, right, on a soul level. So Wednesdays is a good night to do that. And on Thursday, it's Elder Day at Star Nations organization, because at 9:30 Eastern time, 10:30 Eastern time, 9:30 Central, it is Spiritual Mysteries of Life with Constance Shearwater. And Connie is one of our elders here at Star Nations. And she, many times during her show, is channeling information. Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of those shows that I always have a paper and pencil next to me because I get to produce the show. I get to sit front row, and there's always something that she shares that is like, oh, I didn't think of it that way, kind of thing, And so I take notes. And then of course there's the afternoon video live stream with me at 3 p.m. Central Eastern time. And then at 8 p.m. Standard time, Eastern time. Eastern time is the Mystery School. And that's with Ortrud Franklin and Carl Franklin. And since I'm producing, I'm also on the show with them. And we're going to be talking about something that is always so much fun to talk about and to share about. And that is Carl is going to be telling the story of the real Saint Nick, the real Saint Nicholas, and how that affects us in modern time, and also how it adds to the collective and how our feelings go along with that. Okay, so anyway, it's going to be a good one. And I also want to ask questions of Orchard and about Mrs. Claus, right? Mrs. Saint Nick, but Saint Nick wasn't married, I don't think. Maybe he was. We'll find out. And so to ask questions about Mrs. Claus during the holy days, and get some information about that, the feminine aspect of that. So I hope you can join us for those shows this week. It's going to be a busy week, but it's going to have lots of good information for us. That's for sure. So with that, I'm so glad you guys were here with me today in both live streams. I appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of your Saturday. It's cold and dreary here. I am going to go back to the house and I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. And I'm going to start working on the next piece for the shows coming up. So with that, Baba Mina, which is Potawatomi for until we see each other again, right? Tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern. Have a good rest of the day. I love you guys.